Hi everyone. So for today, I'm gonna show you why is it that AI financial analyses tend to fail, and I'm gonna show you how to fix it. So for this example, I'm gonna go ahead and generate a daily transaction summary for a business account. So I'm gonna be using this Xero demo account which I've created. For those of you who may not be familiarized, Xero is an accounting software. So yeah, as you can see here, today is June the 17th. So normally what you want to do is generally each morning you want to run a daily summary of all the transactions of the previous day. And this is a process that generally accountants have to manually do on the daily. So for this, the way the automation would ideally work is today. Well, today is June 17th, and yesterday for June the 16th, we have a total of 10 transactions, and you can see at the end of the day, the final balance is 24,600. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how the automation works and how to get a better financial analysis with the assistance of AI. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you how this automation works. And the way this works is, well, normally this is a process that you want to run once daily. Every morning you want to pull all the transactions from the day before. So normally you want to schedule something like this, and you want to here's a schedule trigger, and then you would create something like this, and of course you would set it up to run daily. But well, for this particular case, we're not going to do that. Obviously, we're going to run it on demand to show you how the process works. So in here, I've set up a configuration. There's a test mode for on and off. Well, for now, I'm actually going to set it to true. I'm going to show you when test mode is on and when it's off. For now, I'm going to set it to true. And I'm using June the 6th as a test date because that's a date in particular that I know there are no transactions. So I'm also going to show you real quick what a report looks like when there's no transactions being made. When there's a day without any transactions. Right? So first I'm going to give you a quick run through of the automation. Right? So we want to start out with just with a little quick configuration, setting up some data that we're going to need, some values. First, we're going to need an account ID for the actual ID number for how your accounting software identifies your bank account. In this case, it's Xero, but it could be any other platform. This could work with QuickBooks or any other accounting software you may be using. So then we're going to pull that. We're going to use this number to pull the data from that account. Of course, you want to set some things like the currency, the actual currency symbol. I'm currently located in Europe, so I'm going to use, for this example, I'm going to be using London as the time zone. And just the date from, which would be yesterday, the date to, which is today. This is just to, delimit the time frame for pulling the transactions. And then for the next, this is a quick, a sub workflow, a small workflow that I've created to refresh the access token for Xero. N8N kind of comes with a baked-in credential manager for Xero, but the thing is that Xero, and I believe I may have explained this on the previous video, but Xero has made some changes to how it handles access tokens. There's more granular control. You have to create application profiles and whatnot. So I've created a small sub workflow that already takes care of all of that, and it returns an access token which we can use to interact with the AI for the remainder of the automation. So this is where we actually start interacting with Xero. This is where we get the transactions for the day. Of course, this is the only parameter we need, like from when until when. Of course, from yesterday to before today. And then this is just to pull the accounts, the actual accounts, so you can pull some info such as the name of the account, the ID for the account, and that's how you link the actual account with the transactions. because this can also be done with different accounts at once. This one is for the bank summary. This is one that I use mostly to pull the balance, especially to look at the opening balance for the day and the closing balance for the day. Then after that, this is the star of the show. This is the meat and potatoes. And this is actually how we fix, getting better financial analysis from AI. And the reason most people make a mistake, and the reason why AI doesn't make proper financial analysis, is because a lot of people just pull the raw list of transactions and then just give it to the API. And there are different factors, like such as which model you're using, and also like how big the list could be. The bigger it is, the more it tends to hallucinate. It tries to perform a lot more calculations, and when you just throw the raw list of transactions, the LLM, the AI model, may not properly analyze certain things. Like, for example, it may not distinguish between trading and non-trading cash, or say, for example, it may mistake inter-account transfers as revenue, or it could also take, for example, loan drawdowns as revenue when it isn't. So this is some actual code that I wrote. This is some JavaScript code to help classify the transactions. So instead of having AI trying to do the math, we actually format the data for it and give it to the AI to interpret, and that is going to give you so much better results, right? So just going to give you a quick run through, right? So I pull out of the account information the transactions, and this is where I classify the transactions such as tax, payroll, loan drawdowns, transfers, and then any subscription service, rent, etc. These are for the unclassified transactions, because we have a special category for unclassified transactions, or say, for example, sometimes also where in AI may fail is, for example, sometimes a transaction may come without a payee name or just under a vague name such as unknown, etc. So then that's why we help categorize these transactions, right? So then just gonna go ahead and here, this is where we group them together. This is for anomalous transactions, and then we put the total together. We distinguish between trading versus non-trading cash, the account information, and of course this is the final structure that we present the AI. We have the actual name for the account, or how you label the account, and then opening balance, closing balance, inflows, outflows, etc., net movement. And then this is what you want to present the AI. Don't just throw the raw list of transactions. You actually want to structure and classify the transactions and then give it to the AI for interpretation. That's going to get you a much better result. And then I kind of just run this through a conditional here. Oops, sorry. So this only separates whether there was a day that has at least one transaction, or if it was a day that had no transactions. If it had no transactions, then it's just simply gonna send an email that says that there was no activity for the day, and I'm gonna show you that real quick in just a second. And then here is the actual request to the AI. In this case, I'm using OpenRouter to query the AI, and I'm using Claude as the actual model to perform the analysis. And here you can see some of the prompt. You're telling it, assume the role of a CFO analyst, and these are the important guardrails. Do not infer or calculate any figures. All numbers are pre-computed and provided. Do not use any filler phrases like "it's important to note," "it's worth highlighting," etc. And then here we pass the actual structure that contains all of the categorized data. This is just a code block to actually categorize all of the data and all of the commentary that is returned, all of the assessment that's returned by the AI. And here we're just, because when you call this API, you pretty much just get one big block of text. This is just to break down the text into actual values that we can use for formatting the email we're going to send. And then once we have the data structured, that's when we create the email and it gets to send to us as a report, right? So here comes the exciting part where I'm gonna show you the actual end product. So we're gonna go ahead and run this automation. First, we're gonna run what happens when test mode is on. So when test mode is on, it's gonna pull the transactions for June the 6th, which is a day that I know for a fact has absolutely no transactions. So this is just also to show you really quick what the email looks like when there's been no activity. So I'm just gonna go ahead and run this. It doesn't take very long because there were no transactions for that day, so it's actually already completed. And we're gonna go ahead and refresh, and there it is. And well, for this day, no activity, no surprise here. But now comes the real interesting part. Now I'm gonna go ahead and turn test mode off. I'm gonna set it to false, and now it's gonna actually pull transactions from Xero. So test mode false. So remember, today is June the 17th. It's gonna pull data from June the 16th, and I'm gonna show you here real quick. For June the 16th, we have a total of 10 transactions here. And notice that for the end of the day, yesterday, there's a final balance of 24,600, almost 700. So now we're actually gonna go ahead and run the automation for yesterday. So there it goes. It's querying the API, it's pulling all the data, it's parsing it. Now the AI is processing the information and analyze it, creating its own commentary. When it comes back, we're gonna parse the info and then we're gonna send the email, and the automation has completed. So now let's see, now we can actually see what the report looks like. Let's go ahead and hit refresh. And here it is. Business bank account for yesterday, June the 16th. And here you can see, well, the overall money in, money out, net movement, opening balance, trading inflows, and notice the closing balance exactly 24,600. And here is the important part, which is the actual assessment from the AI. Let's, well, I'm not gonna go through all of that, but I'm just gonna read at least the cash quality section. It says trading receipts of $7,000 from Hartley and Stone Consulting and Meridian Growth Partners represent only 52% of total inflows, with the balance comprising of $5,000 HSBC business loan drawdown and a $1,500 inter-account transfer from Bank West. The business has taken on additional debt to supplement operating cash, which masks underlying trading performance. Two minor outflows to Office Supplies Company and Berry Brew lack transaction references, creating reconciliation risk. Right, and then maybe you could pause the video and read the rest of the assessment. And here's some important flags that, some recommended actions from the AI. It says round number financing inflow, possible inter-account transfer, no reference on outflow, no reference on outflow. So there you go. So yeah, whenever you want AI to run an assessment on your financial transactions, what you want to do is you want to structure the information for it and don't just throw the raw data, because that's going to make it a lot more likely to make mistakes and hallucinate. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want help with a similar setup for your business, go ahead and contact me, and I'll be happy to help. Have a good one.